Hello and welcome once again. This is the Bowling Green Presbyterian Church Daily Devotional. I'm Martin Stokes and I'm glad you've joined me today. The last time we were together, we looked at how to know the will of God. And one of the main ideas for that was taken from 1 Thessalonians 5:18, which says, "Give thanks in all circumstances, for this is the will of God for you in Christ Jesus." Giving thanks is a great incentive. And can you think of someone in your church or among your friends who's been special to you? For instance, did they give you a ride to an appointment or helped you with cleaning your house? Did they provide child care? Or maybe assured you of their prayers when you were sick or had some problem? Maybe they came and visited you in the hospital or sat with you when you lost a loved one. Lots of things for which we can give thanks. It's appropriate to send a thank you note or a card, make a phone call, or simply just make a special effort to lift that person in prayer. Early in our marriage, Jane and I decided to send out a family newsletter to all of our friends and relatives and loved ones. It was small at first, just a few, maybe less than 50 letters. But through the years it grew to, well, over 300. Then in the 1990s it changed to an electronic publication, and it continued to increase in numbers. Sometimes we'd add a personal note or something like that to the letter, but it always tried to express thanks to one in one form or another. I believe Jesus notices what we do, and in Matthew 25 we're allowed to view this last judgment scene, and he says in verse 31, "When the Son of Man comes in his glory, and all the angels with him, then he will sit on the throne of his glory. All the nations will be gathered before him, and he will separate people from one another as a shepherd separates the sheep from the goats. And he will put the sheep at his right hand, and the goats at his left. Then the king will say to those at his right hand, 'Come, you that are blessed by my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. For I was hungry, you gave me food. I was thirsty, you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger, and you welcomed me. I was naked, and you gave me clothing. I was sick, and you took care of me. I was in prison, and you visited me.' Then the righteous will say to him, 'Lord, when did we do all these things?' And he says, 'Truly I tell you, when you did it unto one of the least of these who are members of my family, you did it for me.'" Now when we do a kind act towards someone, we're doing it to Jesus. And I think the idea of giving thanks also is expressed in one of Jesus' stories from Luke 17:11. And here Jesus speaks. On the way to Jerusalem, he was going through the region between Samaria and Galilee. And as he entered a village, 10 lepers approached him, keeping their distance. They called out saying, "Jesus, Master, have mercy on us." And he saw them. He said to them, "Go, show yourselves to the priests." And as they went, they were made clean. Then one of them, when he saw that he was healed, turned back, praising God with a loud voice. He prostrated himself at Jesus' feet and thanked him. And this was a Samaritan. And Jesus asked, "Were there not 10 who were made clean? But the other 9, where are they? Was none of them found to return and give thanks and praise to God except this foreigner?" Then he said to them, "Get up, go your way. Your faith has made you whole." Jesus thought giving thanks was important also. May I suggest a special project that I'm trying to undertake this Thanksgiving season and continue through Christmas. My thoughts of gratitude for those who have been special to us lead me to develop a plan to express my thanks for the good folks that we have served. Originally, I thought of picking a few folks from each one of the 4 churches that I served as pastor. When I started the list, I figured I would probably list maybe 10 or so people from each church. Therefore, a total of 40. However, when I had been making my list for a little over an hour, my wife, Jane, saw it and said, "Many of these folks are dead." I responded, "True, but I can still give thanks to God for them. As the growing number nears 300 now, I haven't recovered every church. In fact, I've only covered 2 of them. So, and they were bigger churches. So I don't know how long this will take, but I believe the project will at least last through Christmas. I invite you to design your own special prayer project and join us as we make this a very special Thanksgiving season, Advent, and Christmas. If we end the year in this manner, giving thanks, I believe it will help us all to easily have a happy new year. I got an email, or actually a text, just today from a young man that was a child when I served my first church. And he commented on the fact that he had learned a lot of his Bible verses from songs that we sang during our time there. So you never know how long this influence we have will impact other lives, but it's worth it. So that's my project for the coming weeks ahead. Hope you'll support me in prayer, and I hope you'll be able to join me for someone else that you know that you want to give thanks for them. And then let us know how it worked for you. God bless. Pray well.